jokes, yeah, you're insightful, but are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
Hello and welcome to the Likable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy from an entry-level perspective. I'm your host, David Stickle, and today I am joined by Mr. Jay Connolly.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Good. Welcome to Rhinecliff.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's a nice little town. I like where the podcast is too. It's like a fun little like neighborhood spot.
Oh, we're nestled in here, my guy.
Yeah, right.
We're nestled. Yeah. Studio is smaller than you realize.
Oh yeah, very much. Like you see it. Like I think it's because you got the two cameras. Like so, like you're seeing me and you're seeing him, but what you don't know is I could poke him in the eyes right now.
Yeah. Our bellies are touching.
Yeah, right. We're playing footsie under the desk.
Oh yeah. We're interlocking toes. It turns me on. So you're a comedian of Albany, but not exactly Albany, right?
I live in Colony.
Colony,
But
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, basically everything is through Albany.
Yeah. The mall
Albany or
is
Troy.
there. the Colony Mall is there. That's all I know.
Colony Center, which are dying. All of these malls. I was actually in Crossgates. I don't know if you're familiar with Crossgates Mall. It's in Guilderland.
Yeah.
And I went there yesterday. I was out running errands, and I'm like, oh, I'll stop at Best Buy and just see the price of something. And it was far more than I wanted to spend. But like the Best Buy looks like a war zone now.
Oh, really?
Like it looks like everybody left in a hurry.
Oh, rough, dude.
All the shelves have like one thing on them.
Brutal.
Or like not missing. There's like lots of like pins that don't have, or little brackets that don't have anything on them.
Are they just going out of business?
No, I just think like it's
that's
not a priority anymore.
Yeah.
Online is such a priority now that they don't even bother.
The state of Best Buy.
Yeah, and like that was like a cool place. Because I'm 43, right? So I spent my teenage years in the mall.
Yeah.
Colony Center, especially because the high school is right next to the mall in Colony. So we would leave the school, go to the mall, go to like Friendly's and drink coffee and smoke cigarettes for 4 hours.
Hell yeah.
Then it changed to Applebee's when we got thrown out of Friendly's. Then it changed back to Friendly's when they got a new manager. We didn't know where we were.
Revenge of the Friendlies. That's funny.
The waitresses loved us though.
Oh, that's cool.
Because we were nice.
Yeah.
We just took up a whole table drinking coffee. But they liked us because we tipped, we'd throw $5 on a $1.50 coffee, and all they had to do was bring a pot and leave it on the table and walk away.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to do anything.
And like after school is just like that, 3 o'clock time slot, 4 o'clock time. So it's not like super busy.
Yeah, right. We would try to leave before like 5 o'clock. So we'd get there at like 2:30 and stay till like 5 and just BS, bullshit and
clutch.
smoke cigarettes and be cool.
Just smoking cigs. Were you an arcade kid in the mall?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's fun.
One of the guys that worked at the arcade sold weed back in the day too.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's like a thing the world over. Like some guy in every arcade at some point was selling weed.
Designated him. Like when that guy quits, the arcade manager's like, fuck, we got to find a new dealer and a guy that knows how to replace quarters.
Yeah, right. And he'd just go over and like give us like 50 free plays on like NFL Blitz or something like that. We just sit there and play Blitz for like an hour.
That's so funny.
That was good times.
Yeah.
Pocket Change was the name of the arcade in Colony Center.
Okay, hell yeah. I don't remember the name of the arcade in the Kingston Mall because that's where ours was. But I never got to hang out there that much because it's like it wasn't a short distance. Like we have to go over the bridge, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I only went a couple times. Like one was a birthday party. It was
those are the best. So that was back when FYE was still a thing.
Yeah.
It is a thing, but now it's just Pop Funkos and anime.
Yeah. T-shirts.
Like anime T-shirts and Pop Funkos and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle branded things. Like, it's basically it's FYE is now like the pop culture warehouse. Essentially. It's no longer like music. It's like if you license your cartoon or movie to a company, we'll sell it here.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's like a vanilla Hot Topic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like a hot topic for like normal people, I guess. For lack of a better term.
It's a non-goth topic.
I worked at Hot Topic.
It's a mild
when
topic.
I was like 16. I worked for Hot Topic back in the day.
Oh yeah?
I thought it was going to be like the coolest job in the world, right? So I apply, I get the job. I'm like 16, and it turns out it's just like the Gap with daddy issues. Like it's
the Gap daddy issues.
it's literally like
different category.
full t-shirts. They almost look exactly the same and nothing can be out of place. And you'd think it was like a relaxed, chill thing. The only good thing is you got to pick a CD to put into the 5-disc changer.
Wow.
If you were working a shift. That was like the only good thing about it. So you got to, and didn't matter what it was. They didn't have, that was another good thing. It was like if it was cursing in it, they didn't care.
Wow, that's
like,
cool.
It was very like open. They let the managers kind of do that stuff, but then all procedural stuff was like, you could like, I thought like I could be a little late occasionally. You know, I was 16 and I actually got fired because I was showing up late.
Really? How late though?
Well, I got that job at the same time our friend got his first apartment.
Okay.
So we would go there.
So you're fucking around.
Stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning drinking or smoking bong hits or something. And then I'd take a bus from his house in Waterville to Crossgates. And, you know, you missed the one at 9 o'clock. You're not catching the next one till almost 10.
Oh,
You're supposed to be there at 10.
Damn.
So I'm not there till like 10:30.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dang.
And they fired my ass, which I deserved.
Yeah.
Not the first job I got fired from, and it wasn't the last either.
Yeah, we're not contesting whether you should have been fired or not.
Yeah, right. I do not blame the people that had to let me go.
It'd be crazy if you're still holding on to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like open your joke book. It's all hot topic. You just write hot topic.
Hot topic.
And the manager's full name and address.
No beer and no TV. Make Homer go crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. After 20 pages, the address changed because the guy moved, but you kept up to date.
I thought Hot Topic would be cooler. I thought Hot Topic would be cooler over and over again.
That's wild. Yeah. So you moved on from cigarettes and chilling at Hot Topics. What happened after that? Like, how long have you been into comedy?
So I grew up certainly wasn't rich. That's not the way to put it. But we were like upper middle class. I had our combined family income when I was a little kid was probably like $150,000 to $200,000 in like the 80s. So it was like good, you know.
Yeah,
like we had a house, we had a pool, we had not extra things, but like if like we played sports, my parents paid for that. That wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Christmas was cool. I got a Sega Genesis when it came out, you know.
Hell yeah.
And then my mom became permanently disabled.
Okay.
And she went from like $50,000 a year or higher to like $12,000 a year on disability.
Yeah.
And that changed that was probably like when I was like 12, 13 or 14 years old. So up until then, I had HBO, Showtime, all the movie channels and stuff as a kid. So I was watching like Carlin at 8 years old on HBO.
Wow, that's cool.
And like and all of those 80s young comedian specials with like the Rodney Dangerfield specials, you know, with like Jim Carrey, like because I saw Jim Carrey like Ace Ventura and stuff like that came out when I was a kid, and then I got to see him in the 80s after that. Like after I had seen those movies, I got to see like the younger version of him doing crazy stand up.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, like that came from that. Like he got that because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Carlin, Robert Klein, like a lot of old comics, Robert Schimmel.
So you're 8 years old and you're watching these kinds of specials. Are you like processing all of it, or are you just kind of understanding that people are laughing? This is funny for some reason. Like, what is? Because like I don't think I discovered like stand-up comedy on the regular until maybe I was in like, you know, early teens, I think. But like, so at that age, like 8-ish, do you remember what it was like kind of seeing that? And
Carlin specifically, I remember because he was like it was almost like telling you something that other people were afraid to tell you.
Okay, interesting.
Like they may have believed it, but like, you know, when he goes off on all businessmen are full of shit, like I learned that at 8 years old, but I also knew that I think my mom knew that too.
Okay.
Like it felt like something my mom knew, but wouldn't say it because she didn't want to stir up any trouble or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Would your family watch it with you?
Sometimes.
Gotcha.
There was a TV in the basement where like my video game system was. Because my
Okay.
parents were not going to have me playing video games in the living room. Like it just wasn't going to happen. We weren't allowed a TV in our room, but like in our basement, it was like a family room, like kind of set up in the basement with like a a couple couches, and like so if we had friends over or whatever, we could all hang out there.
Okay.
So it was almost another room, but we weren't allowed like TVs in our bedroom, which I think is crazy because it basically had that. I just didn't sleep there. Like I spent all the time down there and then would go up to my room to go to bed. But yeah, sometimes they would. Sometimes they wouldn't. My mom would ask me to sometimes. My mom was awesome about like checking when she knew I was watching something that was a little bit out of my age range. Like I
Okay.
remember watching Shawshank Redemption at, I don't know, 10 probably.
Okay.
Whenever it was on like HBO.
Yeah.
Or I think it was on Showtime, but that doesn't matter. But whenever that came on like cable, I remember watching it. My mom goes, "Do you know what's going on? Mm-hmm. Do you know?" Because she had watched it, and she's like, "Do you understand?" Like, because she was just worried that like I was just watching it from a perspective of like cursing and fighting and not understanding why this movie's good.
Yeah, like
You know?
why it's so moving or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, no, this guy's getting railroaded. You know? like, this guy's getting railroaded, and he doesn't deserve it. And everybody, he's either trying to help him or keep him there. Like, and she's like, okay, and that was like good enough for her.
Yeah, you were taking the story. You were understanding their story. Yeah.
And I have older sisters too, so like they would. I watched like Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 16 or 6 years old, 7 years
Okay,
old.
yeah.
Because they were watching it. I have a sister that's 10 years older than me and a sister that's 8 years older than me.
Okay. Same, actually. Oh, that's funny.
So like when they're listening to or watching Nightmare on Elm Street at 16, I'm 6.
Yeah.
So like it's a little and like my mom goes, if you have nightmares and if you're having nightmares or anything like that, you're done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I just like willed that into myself to like, okay, this isn't going to bother me. It's fake. It doesn't matter. It's not like he's not going to get me in my sleep because he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I
Dang.
knew that early.
I got exposed to Chucky when I was like my sister was 10 years older than me, so you know I was 8, she was 18, and Chucky came out somewhere around there, and yeah, I got exposed to that shit, and I was like, nope.
Yeah, see,
like I couldn't
it's
do
funny now
horror.
that I'm older, I don't like any of it.
Really? Okay.
I think it's because like I think the closer you get to death, the less dying is funny or like is entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I'd go on like a crazy roller coaster anymore.
Really?
Like I used to like them as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's just like it doesn't seem worth it anymore.
Yeah, I'm afraid to go on a roller coaster because I don't want to feel older than I already do. Because like as you get older, I think it's cochlea in your ear, which is like what keeps you balanced, that has less of a reaction to movement. So like, you know, if you're going on a roller coaster and it's doing all this kind of stuff, and Carl's going to correct me on this, and I don't have a Jamie, I have a Carl, and he just watches and sends me a text. But you go around these things and it fucks with the cochlea in your ear, and you know, then you feel like shit for like a day or so afterwards. So I don't want to. I'm worried that I've reached that age. You know, I'm 35, so I'm like, man, I don't know when that's going to come for me. You know, some people it doesn't hit as much. You know, there's like guys that are, you know, older than me that are fucking like, you know, MMA fighters still.
Right.
It
There's
doesn't
like
bother
old
them.
people that skydive and shit. And you're
know.
like if you took me for free to go skydiving at 20 years old, I would have been like, let's go.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, nah, like maybe. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be a good reason. Like are 8 of my best friends going? Then maybe.
I would be like, how long is it going to take?
Yeah, right. How expensive is it?
That
like,
is
that's
the big
when
thing.
you know,
Yeah.
like when you're 20 in your 20s and you're working like I worked retail like basically my whole life, retail and food service, and didn't have anything to spend money on, so you spend it at the bar or whatever, and you know, then I would have had no problem dropping $200 to go skydiving, but nobody wanted to go. You know.
Yeah.
But now, if you told me it was $20, I'd be like, I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't cost a lot to jump out of a plane.
Right. You're paying for the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's learned how to jump out of a plane, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
You're paying that guy to deal with me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Rough. So you started with comedy pretty young as far as exposure. When did you were you always like a funny kid? Like,
yeah. I was always like the goofball. I got thrown. I can't tell you how many times I've been told to walk out into the hallway in like class and stuff like that.
Love
I was
that.
always getting removed. There was a point where like my teacher put my desk out there because she's like, here's the take the test. And then, of course, like, you don't get in trouble really for that. When the teacher puts you outside, it's kind of like a thing between you and the teacher. And then every once in a while, like, the principal would be walking down the hall, and you're like, damn it. Now he's going to come over and talk to me and ask me why I'm out here.
Yep.
But if 10 minutes later, I would have been back in the classroom or, on to the next class or whatever, and he wouldn't even have known about it. But yeah, I got thrown out of class a lot. I got phone calls to my parents a lot.
Rough.
Yeah. My elementary school teacher or elementary school principal that used to call my mom, like, I'd say once a month probably during most of elementary school, had a twitch. And I'll like remember it forever because I would sit in front of him at his desk and he would just kind of like have one of those.
Yeah.
And like, man, it's hard not to like laugh. I mean, you're getting in trouble, so it's easy not to laugh. But then like, it's just one of those things I'll remember forever. I don't remember his name though. That's the unfortunate thing. I just remember he had
That's
one
wild.
of these.
We had in 8th grade, we had a science teacher named Mr. Vining, and shout out Mr. V. And he was always just like kind of spaced out and kind of like zone. And people like he was just so monotone. He'd like write on the whiteboard or whatever, and he'd just be like, his big thing was like water flows downhill, and then he would just like randomly in the class, whatever we're talking about, he'd be like water flows, and then everybody go downhill. But he was like such a antagonistic teacher at times, and I say that like looking back, like he was just a tired guy, but he was very monotone and whatever. And he was like writing on the whiteboard one day, and then a kid took like a pen and threw it at him while his back was towards the kid, and he was writing on the whiteboard, stopped, moved, it hit the board, and then he went back to writing. Didn't address it at all, and everybody was like, "Oh fuck!" Like it was very much just like he's a secret operative. Like the lore grew that day. Yeah, but yeah, that kid never fucking acted up again.
But yeah, I was always goofing around in school, not really caring much about it. I never had much need for school. I felt like as a kid, I'm like, this is like. It seems like a waste. Like a lot of it does seem like a waste.
Yeah,
like certain things, but like I have a friend who's a math teacher, and I give her crap all the time about like how this is so like anything past basic algebra is completely unnecessary for 80% of students.
Yeah, I don't use trigonometry every day.
Yeah, when's the last time you used calculus?
Yeah, or elementary level French. Yeah,
right. Well, I took a lot of Spanish, and I actually think
Spanish is valuable.
Right,
Spanish,
sure.
Yeah.
It came in handy when I worked in food service and retail.
Yeah.
Just even a little.
Spanish is like if the guidance counselor should dictate what class you're going to take for language, because they're like yeah, he's probably going to work in the service industry. Yeah, right. Make him do Spanish. Yeah.
I see a future line cook. And
yeah.
You're like, you should learn Spanish.
Yeah. This guy's going to be service, but he's going to be upscale. Maybe we'll push him into French, we
used to be great at like, I worked for Foot Locker for 7 years, and Spanish would come in handy there a lot.
Was this also in Crossgates Mall?
I worked in Crossgates, Colony Center. I worked in, the worst one was Latham Circle Mall, which is now like a strip mall with a Walmart. But it used to be like a mall.
Yeah.
And I've actually been trying to do jokes about it because it's so silly. It was a dead mall when malls were good.
That's
like
funny.
when Crossgates was bopping, this was a piece of crap with 8 stores left in it. And 2 things in the food court. The security team was a family that shared 3 teeth. It wasn't like a secure, like, I don't know how they got or caught anyone, because these people like are not, there's no authority from these people. They were just like, they were there to like reinforce trespassing violations and call the police, I guess. Like that's what they were there for.
Hell yeah, brother.
But it was, I joke that like a dead mall when one of the only stores in it is like the guy that sells like POW flags and like airsoft guns. Crossbows and stuff. All the stuff when you're 8 years old, you're like looking around like all this stuff is so cool.
Currently in the Kingston Mall, I believe.
Is that? Yeah. There's always one, but like usually in the deader the mall, the bigger that guy is.
Yeah.
Like the more important that guy is.
He becomes, it's almost like an African slumlord, you know, where it's like without the presence of government, I've taken over.
Like you need that store to draw in like dirt bags. I guess, for lack of a better, and I don't mean like they're the worst people in the world. I just mean like dirt bags love those stores.
Yeah, they do.
As do I.
Yeah.
I'm probably a little bit of a dirt bag, but like or like kids that want to like look at fake guns.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, airsoft way back when was the shit. Did you ever get into those?
I bought one when I worked
yeah.
there, and then I had a couple other friends. We all bought like pistols.
Okay.
And then we would shoot each other with them inside of an apartment. Like we'd like get to go down like a hallway and turn off all the lights. And we'd wear like sunglasses and like a bandana and just like peek out and try to shoot each other. And
That's
somebody
so
got
funny.
hit right here above the eye.
Yep.
And we decided that we're not going to do this anymore.
That's hilarious. We had a bunch of airsoft guns on the farm. There was like maybe like 5 or 6 kids that lived on the farm, and we all had airsoft guns. So we would just like play in a barn or something like that. It was like, it was pretty cool. You could like light each other up in there.
Yeah.
That was
I played
sick.
paintball a few times too, but I never like got into it.
Yeah, I couldn't get into paintball. It was it felt like it was too expensive, I think.
It is.
That's what my parents told me.
I would say it is. I have a friend that I used to play Magic the Gathering with, which is funny. Shout out John Delano.
Shout out John.
He owns a pizzeria in Clifton Park Center, which is another mall that which is kind of on its way out. I feel like it's just not viable anymore. I think
Is the pizzeria or the mall?
The mall.
Okay.
No, the pizzeria is great.
Pizzeria
The pizzeria is great. When I do
pizza?
DoorDash, I pick it up from there every once in a while.
Hell yeah.
And he's like a professional paintball player that's won stuff, and his gun's like, as a matter of fact, he posted a picture on Facebook the other day of it, and it's like $1,000.
Wow.
He's like, for like just like the like trigger mechanism. This isn't barrels. This isn't feeder hoppers, and this isn't the mask and all the stuff. And
amazing. Yeah, I mean, and like, does it pay a lot when you win? Like,
I don't know. I have no. I think it's about like sponsors paying for all the others, so that when you win, it's yours.
Yeah,
kind of thing. It's like golf. Probably
I remember like even for like strongman stuff or like powerlifting, when I was doing that, like the most successful one in the world was not getting paid, you know, that much money. You know, it was like, it's crazy. You could have the strongest deadlift on the planet, or you can be the third string kicker for the Cleveland Browns, you know, and then
$150,000 a year.
Yeah. I mean, the Browns kicker makes like $1 million a year. Right. The powerlifter makes like 30 grand. It's like, it's crazy.
Here we are doing comedy, which is
for nothing.
You know, I got. Oh man, I feel so bad. I don't feel bad because it was fun, but like I ate shit. Will Johnson put on a show in Hudson.
Oh, is this at Bubba's Biscuits?
Yeah, at the
Cool.
Biscuit Bar.
Yeah, how did that go?
It looked real bad at first, and then we got some people in. We kind of barked people in.
Cool.
And I bombed my dick off. I don't know what happened. I don't know why.
Where were you in the lineup?
Like third. It wasn't first.
Okay.
If it was first, I could like move past it quicker.
Yeah.
But it was like I was like third, and the people that went before me did fine. Mm-hmm. It was tough all around.
Yeah.
So like it was like nobody like crushed, but everybody did pretty good.
Yeah.
Because it was like 7 people plus employees plus girlfriends of other comics.
Yeah.
Will's wife was there, you know, like, and Will's wife hasn't heard all of my jokes, so you know I still take that as an audience member sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, and then like I messed up a joke, and then I was just like, you know what? And I just started like screwing around, and I did better after I decided to just forget about my set or my
yeah, you just decided to just kind of like let it go.
Right, I still did jokes from it, but I kind of like I kind of like gave up on like A to B. Mm-hmm. And because I'm an A to B guy usually when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Like that's a Carlin thing. That's like Carlin wrote every word for a reason, and he's going to say them all. And he's not going to be like, so what do you do for work? Like Carlin's not doing that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I don't like doing that. It's not, unfortunately, to get to 45 minutes eventually, you kind of have to probably do a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, it helps. I find that like sometimes a little bit of crowd work on a bit that I'm really secure with, that reaction helps me come up with another part to the joke.
Sure.
You know? Because it's like, you know, sometimes, I asked the crowd once what kind of deli sandwich they think I am. And then somebody just yelled turkey, turkey club or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, actually, because I do give off, that kind of, and I'm like, that makes sense. So then I started using turkey club as a lead-in to the other part.
Yeah, like nobody hates a turkey club. Like it's
Yeah. It's very likable, the turkey club.
Turkey club is very like. I feel like usually for a lot of times that's the only sandwich on menus.
Oh yeah,
Like a diner or something.
We make the cut, dude.
Yeah.
We made the cut. Yeah, it's us and burger, dude. So it was kind of a quieter show.
Yeah. I forgot though. It was also game. It was game 2 of the finals.
Yep. Did it start?
And
what
that
time did the
town
show start?
8.
Gotcha.
So like the same time as the game.
Yeah. Brutal.
We heard people leaving another place next door going, hurry up, we don't want to miss the beginning of the game.
Right.
So you could see like people leaving other places to go. So they weren't coming out for us. Yeah, it was fine. It wound up being okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad show at all. It was just I did so terrible. I maybe had a beer more than I normally would have before I got on stage. That might be part of it. I try to limit myself to like never more than 2 before I start, and then maybe I'll take the third with me on stage. Like,
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then I'm not. That's certainly not drunk. I probably had like almost 4 before I got on stage, and like I don't know, an hour and a half of sitting waiting to do the show. So like it was more than I would have liked. I got out of hand on that one like, a little bit. So I think that was part of it. It was hot.
Yeah.
It was like 100 degrees in
Dude, yeah. So we did a show there maybe like a month ago at this point, and we had a pretty Hudson's like kind of a pain in the ass to get ticket turnout for.
Okay.
And we had a decent turnout. I think we had like 30-ish, somewhere's in that range. But turned the AC on like at show start.
Ooh.
So it was
it didn't do anything.
And it wasn't as hot. Like it wasn't as hot outside.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we had the door open while we were, standing outside trying to get people in. And then, but we turned the AC on at showtime. I mean, like 3 comics in, it started to cool down a little bit, but boy, was it. I was going right after host. It was just, I was sweat. I mean, I sweat all the time, but I was like, like feeling it up there. It felt good to have an excuse.
Well, that's the thing is like I'm probably overly critical sometimes of myself. Like I'll come off stage and be like, I hated that.
Yeah.
And like people are like, you did fine, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it was fine, but I hated it.
Yeah.
And like, there's other times where I know I did well, so it's not like I always think I do badly.
Yeah,
but when I do badly, I'm almost too self-aware sometimes for comedy.
Yeah,
like where I'm just like, that wasn't good. Like,
it's definitely tough. I mean, because like I think that's a good gear to have, though. I mean, you're never going to be happy.
Right.
Hey, sorry about it. You're never.
Comedy, regardless of comedy, that might have been true. Anyway, so.
That's true. Yeah. No, but you'll continue to work on your shit. I mean, it's tough when you're interacting with somebody that just bombed their dick off, and like you're trying to gauge how they're doing, and they're like, yeah, I did pretty good. It was
great.
Yeah, it was great. And then it's just like, you literally made a woman yell at you. like that is rough.
That is probably my biggest pet peeve in comedy, is the lack of self-awareness that certain people have, especially newer people that maybe had a good night, or I always want to be careful when I talk about these things, because I don't want it to feel like I'm shitting on anybody.
No, I mean, yeah, as long as you don't say names.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
I can edit out too.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say names. I don't want people thinking I'm talking directly about them when I might be, but like.
But you're omitting their name for a reason.
But I don't.
We don't want to talk about you.
There's tons of people that I like.
Yeah,
like I like these people. It's just that you're not exactly. Or what happens is they get an early thing. They get there's a lot of early right now because of how many shows there are.
Yeah.
So like in an effort to probably diversify shows, because you can't put the same person on the same bar show every single time, because you're getting basically the same audience.
Totally.
And unless they have 2 hours of comedy, they're not gonna. You're doing the same bits a lot of the time, which is something you should be doing. You should be doing the same bits over and over and over and over and over and over until you could say them backwards almost. Like. But what happens is somebody will get on a show like 6 months in, and then they don't understand that like they did poorly, and there's certain mics that are more supportive than others.
Yep.
That can get a little weird because like there's mics where everybody in the room likes me. And that is a really bad place to start.
100%.
Like, because
100%.
Because I can't tell if something's, so I go in that mic I go to with the like newest jokes I have.
Yeah, very smart.
I'm not practicing anything there. I'm writing things down in the car while I'm waiting to go up. Just, I'm a very homework on the bus guy, is how I describe it. I have a hard time sitting at home and write. Like, I'll sit at home and play video games for 3 hours, but I won't write jokes. And then when I get to the mic, I order a beer, I sit down, and I look through my phone for the premises I wrote down that when I was in the grocery store. I'll still do that, write things down as I think of them. But I don't flesh them out until I'm like at the open mic sometimes.
You don't have an issue with people like being like, yo, Jay, what's up? And then they try to talk to you for like 15 minutes before the mic starts? Or
I don't mind that. That sometimes helps.
Yeah.
That can actually trigger. I wouldn't run bits by people like that unless I asked. Like, that's a rule that I have, is like, if you're going to run a bit, at least say, hey, I was thinking of this. This is funny. Instead of just being like, hey, Jay, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Hey, I was in the grocery store the other day, and I ran into an ex-girlfriend. You're like, is this a bit? Or why are you telling me this random story?
Adjusting an imaginary time. I was in a grocery store.
He's like leaning on a fake mic stand.
They're doing that like weird twist thing.
He's coiling up a non-microphone. But yeah, I think people like, it's hard to do that when everyone likes you, and there's a lot of people in that room that everybody likes. So you might go up, and you might have a great, and in that specific mic, a lot of people that go to that mic don't go to other mics.
Yes.
So now you have like if you go to like McCaddy's on a Monday, there might be 2 audience members and the rest are comics. So you're not getting what you got there. And it's different comics. It's because if the other mics tend to be more, I don't know what's the word, into like doing they're doing comedy more than the average person. If you're going to Son of Egg that Will and Blake run, you might care about comedy more than if you go to Lark Tavern.
Right, less of a hobbyist situation.
Right. Yeah. I would say for some people it's their bowling league.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I have no problem with it. It's just that when they don't do so well and then they wind up on a show, you're like, what's going on here? Like, and then they might not do well at the show, and that's fine. Like, you can bomb a show. Like, it's not like the worst thing in the world. But sometimes they also don't have that self-awareness of like, or they're uncomfortable showing that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's they don't know they did poorly. I think sometimes I have to not let anybody else know I did poorly or think I did poorly, so I'm instead look at the flowers. It's like that kind of idea of like.
I like, so I want to go back to this, but I was going to say that, or add to that, like, tape don't lie. So like when I watch the tape back or I listen to audio recording back, I'm like, all right, 10 seconds went by and there was nothing. Like I'm not getting a laugh. I'm not leading into anything. I'm not doing anything. Like 30 seconds have gone by. I'm still getting nothing. And I said a joke in that time. Like, that, like,
right.
Yeah. And my thought process, like on the stage could be, hey, this is really fun. I'm having a good time. But like when I get off stage, it's not what I remember it being. Or if I feel like, hey, I'm fucking bombing up here, and then I listen back and there's more laughs than I thought there were, and I'm like, all right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but that's the benefit of like tape, I'm
bad at that.
Yeah, you don't record?
I don't record. I can tell you, we went through this the other day. I looked at the total number of audio recordings I have since I started doing comedy.
Which was when?
So we talked about this the other day. Me and my friend Mike Burnett. You've met Mike.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike Burnett.
Shout out.
He'll probably listen to it because I'm on it. He's not a podcast guy, so
that's okay.
He'll pick and choose sometimes. It's the beginning of the 5th year, I think. But he was like, no, so we've been doing comedy for 5 years. I'm like, no. You're 1 year. Your first birthday isn't the day you were born. It's the year after the day you were born.
Yeah. You've completed 4 whole years of comedy.
Right. And now it's like almost literally to the day today. Somewhere,
wow.
I don't know exactly the date, but it's somewhere around now.
Happy comedy birthday.
Yeah. It's in June. It's the couple weeks in June, like the first couple weeks of June. I don't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, so since then I have 27 audio recordings. And so,
Okay.
and you know Duncan Harris?
Yeah.
He has like 800. And
Wow.
he's been doing comedy for a year longer than me.
Wow. That's
Because we were
wild.
sitting around talking about it.
Yeah.
I have some video. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've recorded a couple shows, so I have something to send to like a festival or something like that.
Yeah.
And like I need to do a couple more of those because I've gotten better over the last year. Like the newest one I have is only like 4 months old, which was a good show. There's like 100 people, 125 people at the show, so it's a lot. The laughter's loud and it sounds good. But yeah, I just don't record myself, and I don't want to do like social media thing bothers me. I don't like that much. I share things, posters, like if you post this, I'm obviously going to share that.
Yeah,
like
cool.
stuff. I always share, and I post when I have shows and stuff like that. But like I don't know what to do with social media yet. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think people are trying to use it to get famous, and I don't think. Not to say that I would be, but I don't want to be famous yet.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's one of those things with like Kill Tony is like, oh, these people do a minute, and now like this guy's funny, and you're like, well, he's funny for a minute,
Yeah. True.
and now they're touring, they're doing 25 minutes, and they got nothing because they've been doing comedy for 5 years, or they've been doing comedy for less than that, or like there's a couple people obviously that are good. The guy that doesn't speak, he's got the phone.
Aaron Belial?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's been doing it a while. Like that's different.
Yeah.
But like when you see like those Killers of Kill Tony's like tours, and you're like
Half of them have only been doing it for like 2 years, or
Right.
they just exploded this year.
and they're funny
like the
people
hot name.
probably, but like
Yeah.
but you can't expect somebody to sit down and watch 40 minutes of like what's his name? The Will guy. William Montgomery.
Oh, I mean, he gets around a lot. I don't know how long he's been doing
I've heard
comedy.
it's been bad though. Like,
Really?
I've heard people that have gone to his shows.
Yeah.
Like, he was at the Funny Bone in Albany like a year or two ago, and they were like, it was rough, man.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Because he's doing that thing.
Yeah.
But
And
he's
it's a very
doing-
specific thing.
He's doing it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And like, I could imagine like, it's very hard to do that. Like Stephen Wright probably had a hard time doing 45 to an hour because it's kind of similar for the whole thing. Like it's like one-linery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're a We Might Be Drunk fan, but Jesselnick was just on
Yeah.
this week's episode. Did you listen to that
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so like talking about doing 60 minutes, and I love how Jesselnick is still like, I've only got 55 and he needs to make it to 60, and he's adamant about getting that full hour. Meanwhile, a lot of comedians are like putting out specials that are 40 minutes long, right? And it's or 30 minutes long sometimes, and those are all fine because they're trying to adjust to like, attention span, I guess, of comedians or of viewers.
Yeah.
But like Jesselnick is still firm on that. But like when you think about that, I mean, he's on special like what, number 5, and his jokes are maybe 60 seconds long,
Right.
And it's like, holy,
How do you sustain that? Like,
yeah.
one of the problems with doing comedy is I started to like watching it less. I don't like sitting down and watching like a special as much
Gotcha.
as I used to. As a kid, it was the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like even people that I don't love anymore, like Bill Maher, I would be like, ooh, he's got a new HBO comedy special. I can't wait to watch it. Dennis Miller,
Yeah.
I'd watch his stuff when it would
Nostalgia.
come on HBO.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and like judge it, which kind of stinks. It's harder to enjoy it as like an art form. Like,
True, yeah.
Than it used to be. I'm not saying I can't, because I just watched. What did I just watch? It was recommended to me. Or no, I saw him on a podcast. He was on Soder. He's like a guy that took a bunch of mushrooms. I forget what the name of the podcast is. Or not the name of the podcast, the name of the special.
Took a bunch of mushrooms.
Like he's a psychedelics guy, and
Okay.
he did like a hour special. It's on YouTube. Oh man, I wish I could figure out what it is. Maybe I can like find it.
I'll look it up on Soder. While you-
Yeah, look it up on Soder. And but like that was interesting, but it was also different. It wasn't just a set up punchline kind of thing. It was kind of like a story with visuals. It was like more of a show than just a stand up comedy special. He was on probably like a month ago.
Okay. Keep talking.
I love Soder, by the way.
Oh, dude.
Soder is
Dan-
my hero.
Dan is the best, dude.
I want to meet. He's going to be at the Funny Bone in July, and I was going to try to campaign to try to get on it, like host it or something, and I just kind of I'm the same thing. Like I don't want to be the guy that's like calling places asking for things. even though like that's kind of what this is.
Dude, I would love to work with Soder.
Yeah,
you know?
well, so he's a Niners fan. I'm a Niners fan.
Hell yeah, cool.
We're about the same age. He's 43 or 42, or like we grew up in the same era.
Yeah.
He's basically married his girlfriend Katie Nolan.
Yeah, love Katie.
We were talking before the show, who's a Dan Le Batard show friend.
Oh,
like
cool.
She used to go on the Le Batard show all the time. Mm-hmm. She's on Pablo Torre's podcast all the time now. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a reporter that does a podcast on the Le Batard network.
Okay.
He's the one that's like figuring all the stuff about the Clippers paying Kawhi Leonard under the table, and they might get in trouble for it. And he's uncovering all of these like files that show like they probably paid him under the table to come to LA, and that's very illegal in the NBA. But like, yeah, so like, but just all of that wrestling. I grew up a huge wrestling fan. I don't really watch it anymore, but I grew up. Me and my friends would watch Monday Night Raw in my friend's mother's living room until we were 23 years old, 25 years old.
Sick.
I would smoke blunts and go watch.
I was a big wrestling fan when I was younger too. I kind of got out of it, I think, when Stone Cold did. Yeah. I mean, the John Cena era was probably near the end. I'm gonna read some names. Okay. Justin Stagner.
The problem is
Eric Andre.
Definitely not Eric Andre.
All right, Marcus King.
Nope.
Kyle Kinane.
Definitely not Kyle
Kinane. So you better know who that is. Renan Hirschberg.
Nope.
Red Richardson.
It might have been the first one, just because I don't know his name.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is great content.
Yeah, I know.
But it was maybe one of those people.
But well, because I want to shout it out. And Mike McDaniel was just on, by the way, which is awesome. That's awesome that they're like childhood friends. That's insane.
Yeah. Sick episode.
It's not Red Richardson. Shane Moss.
Oh, Shane Moss.
Mauss.
Yeah.
But check out his. I don't know what his special's called, but look him up on YouTube. It's interesting because it's not just a set up punchline special. It's more of like I don't want to say one man show, but like it's a one subject show.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a better way to put it.
Interesting.
With like visuals and lighting and stuff like that. There's a little bit more to it. Because the whole interview was about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll give this. I never even heard of him. So I'm like, I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
So I like when it's different.
Have you seen Jean-Marc Cerezi's Thief of Joy?
No.
Okay.
I like him.
Yeah. It was probably one of the most entertaining specials I've seen in a long time. Yeah. I watch a lot still, and he just like he's very good at like acting and moving and like all of this kind of stuff. It keeps you engaged, and he's like just so many jokes per minute while not intending or sounding like set up punchline. You know, it's just very, you know, like a little casual like drop of a word, and then he like will move a certain way, and it's like, God damn it, why is that so funny? You know, like because I end up like analyzing shit, and I'm like, why is this working? You know, like what are they doing? You know, and that's, you know, because I'm trying to figure out, one, how to find my voice on stage, but like two, like when I started comedy, every Wednesday there was an open mic in Beacon. There still is, but like every Wednesday for a long time, I tried something different. You know, I would pick a month, and then I would just be like, I'm going to do physical comedy for a month. And then I'm like, I'm going to do clean comedy for a month. And I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to try and do voices. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to, you know, just pick a different avenue of comedy and just see what works best for me. And I still find all of that fascinating, you know? So I'm just like, man, like, why does it? Because if I couldn't crack it, like, I want to figure out why. And, you know.
See, I find, like, I like his podcast. Like, it all is guest dependent.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't know who the person is and
every
it's a podcast.
Well,
I wouldn't say every, but, like I'm going to watch Soder every time.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Like, I'm going to watch that every week, no matter what. I'm going to watch the regs. I mean, there's no guest, but, like, certain ones I'm just going to watch. It doesn't matter who they are. But other ones, it's like, but watching those podcasts, I feel like I learned so much more about comedy than watching it. Mm-hmm. I know that's the final thing. And like, but I don't know if you can learn how to make movies watching a movie. Like as much as you learn with like an interview from a director or 100%. A writer.
Yep.
And I feel like that's, even though they're not being like, so what's your comedy process in these podcasts? They're not doing that. Mm-hmm. But you're getting that person's id, I guess.
Yeah.
Like while you're just hearing them talk, and then you're like, okay, that I see that why they come up with what they come up with. But I have to, like I said, half the time I don't know what they're coming up with. I make all my judgments based on like podcast.
Yeah.
Like if I don't like you on a podcast, I'm not probably not gonna like your comedy anyway.
That's so funny.
Like,
because it used to be the opposite, right? You used to like them as a comedian, and like, yeah, that's probably how you found Soder, right? Maybe you heard him on Sirius or whatever.
I would say, I'm trying to remember how I think I found Soder either through podcasts originally. The only stand-up I've ever seen from him is the one he put out not that long ago.
On the Road?
On the Road.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, by him. And it was funny. Like, but like, I don't know if it's like the greatest special I've ever seen, but I like him, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
And I think that's a good analogy for comedy in general, is like, there's a lot of comics that are serviceable, but do you like them?
Yeah.
And like, that's why I don't want to produce, because I don't want to feel like I have to put people I don't like on because either I owe them one or I don't produce anything. It's one of the only thing I do produce are game shows occasionally.
Oh, that's cool.
I've done like the Match Game a few times. I don't know if you know what the Match Game is. It's an old game show with like drunk TV personalities. They'd smoke cigarettes and drink on TV, and like they play, and they were all funny.
Yeah.
Like, so it would be like Betty White used to be on it all the time, and Richard Dawson, the guy that used to host Family Feud, was on it all the time. And it was like a fill-in-the-blank game. And the comedians would come up with funny things, and if they matched the contestant, they won, they got points or whatever, and then whoever had the most points.
That's cool.
So I did that with a bunch of local comics, and it was very fun. Like, we had a great time doing it. And then recently, instead of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, I did Are You Smarter Than a Stoner? It was right after 420. And we all got baked, and we played like a trivia game with contestants, and I had them pick, if they didn't know the answer, they could pick one of the comics, and if the comic knew, then they'd use their answer.
Yeah.
And it was, not a lot of people showed up. By the time we started the show, it was like 10 people. But like, we all had a great time. Basically, everybody that showed up got on stage to play. And I went and bought some pre-rolls, and I was like it was fun to be like throwing pre-rolls into the audience. Like, that was fun too. But the fact that everybody was stoned meant like, when things weren't polished, it didn't matter as much. Yeah. Because we're all like, this didn't work. Sorry, guys. All right, we'll move on. Next question. So it was like it was fun, and it didn't matter that much because everybody was stoned. We were all stoned. The audience was all stoned. It was kind of like a prerequisite to come.
Yeah, everything was chill, and it was a good time.
Nobody was angry. Everybody left having a good time. The owner, I'm like, sorry we couldn't get more people, and he's like, everybody was happy. Yeah. He's like, no, I'm not going to get any complaints from anybody. You know what I mean? If 4 people had shown up and this stunk, I might get people wanting their money back or something. But no, everybody had a good time. Everybody won a prize. My friend Mike Burnett again, he bought... Shout out Mike Burnett. He wound up like buying a bunch of CDs from somebody. He buys and sells things on eBay sometimes. And like a friend of him approached him, and he had like a tote filled with like old unopened CDs. And like, so he bought them from him cheap, and he was like giving out like ludicrous CDs, or like, he had like a best of the Bare Naked Ladies for Christmas. It was like a Christmas Bare Naked Ladies album, and he's just handing out these during the show touToo. It was like very fun, like screw around, give away prizes.
It's very silly. That's fun.
That's what I like to do, because there's plenty of comedy shows. I think there's I wouldn't say way too many. There's just a lot, and sometimes that's like there's not enough people that want to go, or there's no real way to advertise. I feel like almost every way to advertise a comedy show doesn't work, because it never really reaches the people that are truly interested in it.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, Facebook ads were helping me crush sales, and then it just stopped.
Is that like a local thing? Like, it just kind of like used up an audience, or is that just like, do you think that is it just local, or you're talking any time you were somewhere?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about one spot in particular. So in Hopewell Junction, I put together a show at Sloop Brewing, and like, I was advertising there. First time I tried to do Facebook ads, it like, doubled the sales, and then it just the next time kept the sales that high, and we were selling out. It was awesome, but eventually it was just like not doing anything, and I'm like, and I'm still putting in the same amount of money, 'cause it costs money, and then I don't know if it was necessarily like I needed to use more money to get the same traction, if that was like something shady like that with Meta, Or what I think actually just happened was, the economy hit, like fucking tanked.
Yeah.
This is like, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, it just dropped, and it was just,
What are like
rough.
because I've found that like you can get a lot of people in with like really cheap or free, but then nobody cares.
Yeah.
And like that's a big problem that I've found. Like where if you say like free comedy night at XYZ bar, like you'll get 80 people in there.
Yeah.
But 10 of them are going to pay attention.
Yeah.
And then if you do like even $5 or $10, you'll get 20 people that will all pay attention. And it's funny that you'll get way less people.
Yeah.
Because what happens is there's regulars at a lot of these places, and you like that's who you're trying to get. Essentially, you're trying to get the people that go there every Friday and Saturday night to come back and pay $10.
Yep.
Which is fine until all of them show up.
Yeah.
Because then to them it's just another Friday night at their local bar.
Yeah, and you're interrupting their night out.
Right.
Sometimes.
The worst thing in the world is surprise comedy.
Oh.
We did that not too long ago.
Well, if they don't, if the venue doesn't advertise at all, like they're not like hanging up flyers, if they're not like letting customers know, like, hey, we got a comedy show on
it's
Friday.
really on them more than it is on you.
Dude, like your success at a venue is so much is dictated so much by the venue.
Right.
Like, like again, there's no true form to advertise around here anymore. It's really like if you have that one bartender that is actually excited that there's a fucking comedy show during their shift on Friday, if they talk about it all week long, the customers are going to be excited for that person that they already have the connection with, and they're going to show up and they're going to be excited for the show. You know?
Nobody knows us.
Nobody gives a shit about us.
We're none of us. Like I don't know anybody that I would consider myself a friend in comedy, and that includes like, people that are doing very well, like Michael, like Juan, like people that are doing well, like. You're still not selling. That person still isn't really selling tickets, especially in a place they've never been before. Because then, how would anybody even know who they are?
Yeah.
So it's like to me, it's almost like how people say like, oh, comedians get offered things based on like the number of followers and stuff they have.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Yeah.
Well, like you should be producing to the number of followers the place has.
Yeah.
Like like if you go into a bar and they have 400 followers on Instagram. Yeah. Maybe you don't do a show there.
Yeah, no,
like,
it's true.
And we're so hungry for it that it's hard for us to not want to do those shows.
And those are the ones that want you to do the spot, too.
Right.
Because they're
looking for something interesting or whatever to do because they've been kind of, maybe they're not doing well on a Wednesday night. So they're like, yeah, come on in on Wednesday and do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe you should just have a trivia night that night or something instead of, something where because if the trivia guy has 3 teams, he doesn't care. Mm-hmm. If we have 3 people, we care more.
Yeah. It's brutal.
It's brutal. Yeah, right. It's such a hard thing to do instead of like just asking trivia questions. You know what I mean? Like, or have a $5 import night or something. You know what I mean? Like, you can do something else. And like, comedy is not going to save your bar.
No,
because there's going to be at least one person on the show that those people might hate.
Yeah, I mean, what helps is if you have like, again, like a regular that got into comedy. Or if you've got a staff member that got into comedy and they're just like, they're all about it. Like, I think my shows at Krog have been successful because like I'm there often and people are very invested in my comedy journey. Like there's a lot of like great customers that come to like every show and they're just like, they're like, oh, are you, there's not a Krog show this weekend. Where are you playing next? And then I'll tell them. And they're just like, they're not going to come, but they're like so proud. You know what I mean? And that feels good. And if that happens with like, if there were a regular at the bar that like goes there all the time, like, and they would have the same feeling and they'd be like, well, I'm actually here on Friday. And then it'd be like, oh my God, we got to come out and show up for Bill. We got to show up. Yeah.
That was the same thing with, I feel that way about the Van Dyke in Schenectady. Chris is... He won't put all his eggs in a comedy basket, so I don't blame him. He does a lot of other stuff. He does like live jazz, he does drag shows and stuff there. But he will carve out every now and then like certain times for comedy stuff. I did the 420 show at his spot at the Van Dyke, and like I think like that kind of person that isn't all in on it And like, because then it's not, you don't want it to be make or break for the owner, like, or you don't want to replace a night that he would have made more money.
Yes. Yeah. Because there is that like onus on you, like if you're producing, to being like, ah, man, like
if he typically makes $1,000 at the bar on a Thursday night, and then now you're doing their comedy and he makes $80 because 3 people showed up. That you're not going to be doing that very often.
Yeah.
Like, or ever again.
Well, like, going back to Hudson, like I used to produce a show at a brewery in Hudson, and I think I've had Will and Seamus, I think we're both on a show that we put together. This is back when I was producing it with Danny, and what's it called there? The brewery would give us money up front, and then be like, all right, now we're going to advertise and whatever, and hopefully we get a good crowd. And then we'd show up and there's like 10 people there, and it's like, we got to pump these people full of drinks just so you can break even, because you gave us money ahead of time. And that feels bad because we're not doing tickets, but that feels pretty rough, and they're buying comics drinks and they're buying comics food, and then it's just like, so now you're losing more money.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I've lost money enough where if the venue lost a few dollars, I wouldn't feel too bad.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Like if I go and have, if I drive 2 hours and buy 4 drinks, and get paid $20.
Yep.
I'm not breaking even there. That's like the drinks are they're about 20. I drink Guinness, so it's probably more than $20.
Yeah, I like to think about it this way because I've heard this before on podcasts, but it's like, you're getting paid to travel, right? You're getting paid to get there, know, and then the comedy you would do for free because that's what a fucking open mic is. Right. I would do comedy for free at an open mic.
We'll do. Like that was the Keith Prince show I did a couple weeks ago. It was Memorial Day. It was at like a campground, and I didn't know what it was going to be, but I didn't care.
Yeah,
it was like an hour and 45 minutes away, but I didn't care. And then we get there and nobody showed up. It was like 8 o'clock and nobody showed up. And then like the maintenance woman for the park comes over and goes, "Oh, we don't have it until 9:30."
Oh.
So we automatically felt a little better that like, oh, okay. So it's not that nobody showed up.
It's not us.
We just have to wait another hour and a half to do the show. And then by 9:30, there were 20 people there.
Yeah.
And it was fine. It was a show.
Was this the Morningdale thing?
Maybe. It was
okay.
It was like a
pavilion. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did that last year and that was a great crowd.
I'm doing it again for Labor Day.
Oh, sick. That'll be a huge crowd.
Well, that's why I'm hoping. Like the problem was it was like 40 degrees and raining.
Okay, that's rough too.
And 20 people still showed up.
Yeah, they bring their blankets. They bring. They're camping. I mean, they're good about it. Yeah.
But we thought we were gonna just go home.
Yeah.
Like
Thank God the maintenance lady showed up.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I bought a 6-pack of like Guinness bottles, and we were kind of sharing them. And then by 8 o'clock, there was like one or two left, and I'm like, all right, when these are gone, I think it's time to head out. And then that's when it's almost exactly when she pulled up.
Yeah,
and it was freezing.
Keith finds some really cool spots.
Yeah.
Like he's got that Tetas spot.
Yeah, I don't. That's like another kind of campground.
It's a gas station that has like a full like restaurant in the back. And then if you go out into the back, it's like an open yard with a full ass stage, like for a actual concert. And then there's a massive fire pit. I mean, it's it's like a gas station that's on like a Y, So as you go back behind the gas station, it gets bigger, and it's just like this really cool space. And
that's awesome.
We did the first one, Michael and I, and Elizabeth and Matty was there as well. But like, I think there was a lighting issue. Other than that, it was a good time. They couldn't. The lighting was a bitch to figure out. But other than that, like Keith does a really good job of putting together good lineups.
Yeah,
just fucking
I met him. I didn't really know him, but I had seen a lot of stuff, and he had posted something he was looking for people. So I was like, I'll do it. I have the biggest gap I've had in a long time, which always stinks when you're like, there's just nothing. Like you're a producer, so like you can probably manage to get something in there.
I try to take advantage of it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, okay, I have nothing from the end of May till August, and I'm like, well, that's not great. And so far, I've been able to get a couple of things here and there, but like, so I saw him ask for people on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, he's like, send me a clip or whatever. I send him a thing, and he's like, all right, yeah, you do this show or whatever. And then I'm doing 2 more, at the end of the year.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, no, he is. But like meeting some of the other people, like that's what I like about it, is like meeting these other people that like, I'm curious to see what other people are doing and how, like, what, like, again, the self-awareness of it. Like, I like to see if, like, does this person bomb and then go, oh, what a nightmare.
Yeah.
Or does this person do well and go, oh, what a nightmare.
Yeah.
Or does this person, the opposite of both of those. Like, somebody does really good and it's just like, I'm the greatest person in the world. And that's fun too. Like, it's very interesting to see like how people act, and like especially people I've never met before, or like they're like what they're doing before they go on stage, because I don't do really anything before I go on stage.
Oh, that episode just ended abruptly. What happened? Oh my God, I don't know if you saw this, but in the title, it's a 2-parter because this is a 2-hour-long episode. We're gonna break it in half. We're gonna give myself a week of not having to put out 2 separate episodes. You're gonna get Jay Connolly for 2 weeks. How awesome is that? But we're going to conclude with the episode with some show dates, and then it's going to be, we're not going to update all of July and all that baloney yet, but right now we got, when this comes out tonight, I'll be in St. Mark's Comedy Club at 9:00. That's very exciting. I'm going to spend probably the whole day there. That's sounds like a lovely time for me. I'm going to eat so much food. On 6/26, got the Denizen Theater in New Paltz. That's going to be exciting. Good lineup for that. There's also a Don't Tell going on in Kingston. So if you need something to do this Friday, a lot of stuff. You could do a lot of stuff. You could see a lot of comedy. Probably is too much comedy, some say. And then on 6/28, I'm doing my first roast battle. This is going to be cool. Jay Connolly, who's your guest this week, Albany comedian. I'm going to be going against Alana Gill, who's also an Albany comedian. We're going to throw down. Alana. It's going to be a comedy fight club to the death in roasts. Yeah. So, anyways, it's going to be fun. This was a great episode. I'm excited for you guys to hear the rest of it. It's pretty cool. Jay and I kind of get into some cool stuff as we go on. We talk about comedy quite a bit. So if you love comedy, I'm sure you're loving this episode. Carl, speaking of Carl, get us out of here, my guy.